baby. I just can't stand still. I was born to wander and probably always will. Better love me now. You know I won't be here long. Out yonder is calling and I gotta be moving on. Guess I was born with a restless soul. Honey, I'd like to stay with you, but you know I gotta go. I'll see you next time I come back around. 'Cause baby, you know I'm a wandering man. Don't know where I'm headed, but I ain't lost my way. Ain't worried about tomorrow, busy living for today. Don't worry about me, baby. Don't let it get you down. If the world keeps turning, honey, I'll be right back around. Guess I was born with a restless soul. Honey, I'd like to stay with you, but you know I gotta go. I'll see you next time I come back around. 'Cause baby, you know I'm a wandering man. Guess I was born with a restless soul. Honey, I'd like to stay with you, but you know I gotta go. I'll see you next time I come back around. 'Cause baby, you know I'm a wandering man. 'Cause baby, you know I'm a wandering man. 'Cause baby, you know I'm a wandering man. Yes, I am.
Hello, welcome to a special Simmons Says show here from Studio 605. I am Jeff Simmons, your host. Hope everybody's had a terrific Monday, and I'm going to go ahead and encourage y'all to jump into the comment section, maybe go off and fire off some hot takes as we are on the Mud Bums Simmons Says show. Mud Bums, presenting sponsor of the Simmons Says show. Go and go over there, get you some wings, and enjoy the topics tonight, because we do have Coach Eric Ballou in the studio. Coach, welcome to Studio 605, man.
Thank you. Glad to be here. This is great.
Hey, man, I appreciate the decorations you helped us with. You got the helmet, got some jerseys over here. You never know, man. We might get some new stuff.
That's
you're
right.
You're a swag guy, man.
I do like some gear.
Yeah,
I
well, let's just start right there, because you've look good, play good.
Yep.
And you spent a little bit of time in the off season. What's it like, man, bringing out the new jerseys? I mean, how excited are y'all going to be to debut those here in about a month?
Yeah, it's something. I mean, the kids love it, right? That's kind of the thing now, is the new jersey reveals and stuff. And we just our kids worked for it and fundraising. We feel like they worked hard, the last year, and really wanted to kind of create our own identity, with it. And it was fun, having the players be a part of that process also, where they could, put their twist on the jerseys and stuff too. So that whole process was great, and we were really, really excited to get those out.
Man, y'all went downtown. Y'all had Brent Carden around doing some photo shoot. How hard was it to keep it kind of under wraps? Because I know y'all had them for a while, and people were asking, media was asking, so, hey, when y'all going to do all that? And then, marching them downtown, you're probably like, well, I guess the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. So we actually kind of got lucky, because there was a storm right before we started the photos, with Brent downtown. So there wasn't a whole lot of people out, but he got those pictures ready super fast, and we're super appreciative of Brent doing that. So, it was. We wanted the Warren script to be a part of it, kind of be our new trend with our logo. We want the community to feel involved with it too. So,
Got
Excuse
the
me,
new
it was
Pioneer.
great.
You got the new Pioneer, the head on there, and
Yeah,
everything. So
yeah.
you look good. Have you seen Drew Walker's recreation of it yet?
I don't think so.
He sent it to me and Sullins over the weekend. I guess that he has a little bit of downtime. They got the new NCAA football game.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
he went in and he designed the uniforms, and they look. I told him, I said, I think those look almost identical
Yeah,
to
that's
what
awesome.
Blue did. I said either you stole them and just loaded them in there, but I think he actually went in and put them in there. I was like, man, those look almost identical
Yeah.
to what y'all put in. He said they were about to win the SEC.
Yeah, awesome.
I was like,
Dude,
man, look, maybe region play. Let's work
yeah.
on that.
We'll take that championship buyout money too that they get. You know.
Oh, yeah.
We'll take it.
Yeah, we need
So-
that in there. But no, it's just year 2 about to get started. I mean, of course, we're not even in practice yet, just in workouts right now. But going to Trousdale County tomorrow for a little 7-on-7 work. What's the difference right now in July to what y'all were at maybe at this time last July when you were still? Do we even know who this guy is? Does he know who the players are?
Yeah.
How much further along are y'all in July right now?
Yeah, I think the big difference is how comfortable they are as opposed to last year. Not that they were uncomfortable last year. I think it was just that we had to throw a lot at them. Just getting a spring and then a summer. 2 new systems on both sides of the ball. They can take in so much more knowledge now because they're not thinking. It's not a new install every week. So a lot of it is just retention from the year before. And we're really just building from that, what we did last year. We're not making any wholesale changes or anything, but we're just kind of expanding, and the players have just done an excellent job taking all that in.
Yeah, well, just now out of dead period, I mean, how has the participation been, and how is everybody kind of buying into this summer work? Because this is invaluable time for the team. How well has everybody bounced back, getting back into it in July?
Yeah, the attendance numbers have been great. Virtually everybody's been there, and the ones that aren't, we know where they're at, with doctor's appointments or whatever it may be. So we're really excited about our attendance this year. It's better than what it was last year. We hope to continue moving in that direction. Our numbers are up right about 78 right now, all included. And usually you'll add a couple at the beginning of the school year too.
Yeah,
So.
78 seems like a pretty solid number. Accountability-wise, is that something that you're having to hold them to, or is the team kind of doing that themselves?
Yeah, I think it's being, self, led or peer led, by the players. So, and it helps with, Ben or Coach Matheny that's done a great job with the middle school. We're having over 20 kids, and freshmen, a day. So that's just huge, but that goes back to their experience with the middle school. They want to continue to play football because of what Coach Matheny and that staff's done down there. So, there's always strength in numbers, so we're really excited about that. We had a helmet problem where we had to buy more helmets.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's a great problem to have. So
You need this one back?
that one may be
You need the big lid back?
that one may be expired. Maybe.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't want to. I know that I'm assuming in y'all's players' minds, coaching staff, and yourself, y'all have moved on from last year. I mean, it's a great year, but is there anything else that you're trying to kind of take from last year to move back in? Because it's going to be a whole new team. A lot of new players are going to be stepping into starting roles. But is there anything that you can take from that 6-5 year, or momentum wise?
Yeah, well, it's the same schedule. So I think, even going back and just looking at film from the years prior is obviously something we're gonna be doing. And I think what's going to be interesting is we have totally different scrimmages this year too. So we've got Spring Hill, Columbia Central, and Coffee County.
Okay.
So the schedule's the same, but the preseason's drastically different. So I think that's going to be interesting, just because you're getting totally different preseason experiences going into the same schedule structure as the year before. So we're excited about that. The Spring Hill and Columbia are teams that don't have a lot of history with. So I think it's going to be different, and we're playing teams.
We don't.
Right.
Sorry,
Maybe a
to
little.
cut you off.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Maybe a little. But I think I really like how our preseason's laid out. You've got a 4A playoff team, a 5A playoff team, and getting back in a competition with Coffee County, who we have a lot of history with, I think is going to be really good for our guys.
And how many of those are going to be at home?
Spring Hill will be at home. Central, Columbia will be there, and then Coffee will be at our place.
Yeah, so that's one thing that we can definitely look forward to into 2026. Now, I actually was asking you about this yesterday, about the potential about doing, a season ticket thing, but y'all probably gonna have to adjust the prices
Right,
a little
yeah.
bit this year because
Yeah.
it should be 6 and 4 for the regular season.
Yep.
Of course, there's always that looming bowl game,
Yep.
the Nurseryman's Bowl, and then of course you got 2 different got spring games as well, including one that's I think technically a jamboree.
Yeah.
With Coffee County, so I'm sure that'll be something that y'all be using gate.
Yep.
So man, season ticket for Warren County might be
Yeah.
pretty penny this year.
Well, and the cheerleaders, I got word back on that. The cheerleaders are selling those up until August 7th.
Okay.
So,
Well, the reason why I was asking, and the reason why, and this is why I'm telling y'all, get in the comment section and see what's going to go on there. Tonight we're looking for some good comment. The top commenter, and this might get everybody chiming in as well as we're going to try to get 2 season tickets and a parking pass that we're going to give away. So we might
Nice.
between tonight and on Wednesday night with the Sports Authority, the top commenter that we get throughout every that is going to get 2 season tickets to the Pioneers and a parking pass. We're gonna purchase that, and we'll be
Nice.
giving those away from the Warren County Sports Authority /Simmons Studio 605.
Sweet.
So I hope everybody will get in on that. But yeah, it's gonna be a big time year.
Yeah, I think so.
A lot looking out there. So how hard was it to get Columbia on the preseason schedule? What's it gonna be like, man? That's got to be a little bit of a homecoming.
Yeah. So Tredarius Goff, we grew up together. He's the head coach there. We actually played at Tech together. I think the world of him. I've always said he's pound for pound, he's the best, high school football player I've ever been around. He was a great player at Tennessee Tech too. So yeah, just kind of meeting with him, just as a coaching relationship. We were actually wanting to do some type of in the middle scrimmage, and we couldn't work that out, geographically. So we just decided, hey, let's just do a home and home where we're going to go there this year, and then they're going to come to us. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited to just be around, those guys, and my parents still live there. So, and there's a couple other guys that I played with that are on staff there. So just those relationships always, your old, teammate buddies that you played with is going to be great. But, make no mistake about it. We're going down there to handle business.
It's a business trip,
Yep.
man. It's
So,
always a business trip.
We can shake hands and hug after the game. They have the same mentality too. So, but I mean, it's a really good matchup for us because I don't know if we're going to see that much athleticism, for the rest of the year because they've got a really good quarterback. His last name's Booker, really, really dynamic, and they've got some length and some speed on the perimeter. So, it's one of those games where you play, it's kind of like swinging a bat with a donut on it. I mean, you hope that it kind of can speed things up for you afterwards.
That seems to be just gathering a little bit from what y'all did last year and now what you're telling me about this year. That seems like to be a strategic plan for you because I feel like that's the same thing that y'all did at Swanee last year.
Yeah.
I think it was NBA that
Yeah.
y'all might have opened up with a dynamic quarterback
Yeah.
and got to play a little bit of that. I mean, you have no problems putting your team to a test very early in the season or in this case even in the preseason.
Yeah, I think it's when you're picking scrimmages, you want to have, okay, how many questions can we get answered at this point? I think the spring and summer, most of the spring is we got to figure out what the questions are. And then hopefully in those spring games, fortunately in Tennessee, we can get 4 games. We're getting a spring game and 3 scrimmages. So, we're excited about, hopefully getting some of those questions answered.
Yeah, I think that the team is going. I mean, there's plenty of questions to be asked, but again, too, I mean, do you feel like in any way, are you even trying to pencil in a depth chart right now, or are you just saying, hey, we got 2 more weeks that we got to work out because you really want? How much do you find out right now compared to what you'll find out the moment they put the pads on
Yeah.
and the helmet?
Well, I think you do have to start narrowing down somewhat of a depth chart at this point. But you also have to be cognizant of the fact that, hey, this may not be what it's going to look like, 3 weeks from now. I go back to last year, the 3rd drive of the year, we lose Adrian Harris to a knee injury where, you're expecting him to get a significant amount of touches throughout the year. So what you can't do is get hyper-focused on, a couple of guys. You still got to get everybody reps, and we're doing our best to be really cognizant of that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you never know who's going to be, physically able to play, come August.
Yep. I mean, at this time last year, I don't know if we were even sitting there thinking about whether or not, a guy like Carter Lee was going to be
Right,
that
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's, coming into year 2 and then his senior year, he could be the guy.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
that guy. The guy. Hannah Mathis Blue is pointing and said, had to order dinner since Eric isn't here to cook. Oh man. Disappointing.
Unbelievable.
Already. What would you have cooked? What's a good Monday night dinner for the coach?
We were
and the coach.
we were thawing out chicken breasts, so and I think maybe it was like stir fry, maybe.
Yeah.
I think is what we had planned,
okay.
but ended up picking up some Mexican food instead. so.
You're welcome, or I'm sorry, Hannah. I don't know which one to say on that.
She
either.
got to eat Mexican food. So she's
You're welcome, man, on that. Yeah, the dynamic of what is an off season for you? I mean, I know that y'all did get to take a little bit of time on the dead period, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming every single day since you've gotten out of spring practice has been analysis,
Yeah.
game or practice planning, different things that y'all are putting in. I mean, what's a normal day for Coach Eric Ballou in July?
Yeah, so in July, we start every morning at 8:30 with the players, and on Mondays we're actually going through our 4 foundations: the SALT, the selflessness, accountability, love, and toughness. And today was accountability. So that's kind of how we start off our week, is talking about those foundations, and then they get a workout in, and then we roll into usually a special teams period, where we kind of started installing those last week. In June, we kind of do special teams drills as opposed to full schematic stuff. But then we roll into a defensive session and then offensive session. So, I don't want to keep them there forever. We've got a 3-hour day with about an hour and 15 minutes on the practice field, because it's very important that the players know that they still have a summer.
Yeah.
Because you're going to blink and summer's over, especially once you get into that junior and senior year.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where we are. And then I really like to shut it off when I get home. So whenever we leave, let's handle the laundry, let's handle the meeting, and then when we go home, it's family time. So I really don't try to bring home any work.
Is the simulator running yet?
The simulator is up and running.
Oh, we got the swing going right now, or is the shoulder cooperating?
So that cortisone is kind of taking care of a lot of that pain, so I can swing away right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. I mean, just no more diving catches, man.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I don't. We're taking the ultimate cover for you on that. Yeah,
It wasn't that 15-pound nightstand.
it was not the 15-pound dice. It was a diving catch
Yeah.
for a young daughter who he got to get a little wild on the couch. He had to make
Yeah.
the diving catch in the room.
Yeah.
Had to give away the shoulder. What about what was with the throwing that I saw the other day? Looked like you and Coach Cowboy.
Yeah.
Had the baseball glove out. What's
Yeah.
going on, man? You trying to be the rookie?
Yeah. I heard the Braves had a couple injuries,
Hey, man, you're on target there.
If they need somebody that can throw 72 miles an hour,
72's not bad.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, I mean, that just, something can't beat a game of catch. So, Coach Joe still plays.
Oh, yeah.
He plays in some of those, like adult leagues or whatever. So, but man, I love baseball, being able to, just throw and take your mind off some stuff.
Well, we've been doing softball story time on Fridays with my dad. Have you ever? I mean, have you just stayed away from the allure of playing slow pitch softball?
I got ejected the last time I played slow pitch softball.
Softball story time brought to you by Cold Creek Farms. Tell that story, Coach.
Well, I mean, I think I was still in college, maybe, but tagging up at second, they said I left early.
Oh.
No chance I left early, and I
Did you
just
score from second? Or did you
no,
get
it was
third?
just second to third,
Oh, okay.
and then some, just jabroni wants to say that I left early, and I was very adamant that I did not.
Probably some college kid that the other team
Yeah.
already knew and probably plied him with a 12-pack and
Yeah.
said, hey, listen, he left early.
Yeah.
Or that
So-
12's a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I voiced my opinion, and I was told that I could leave.
Oh,
So
man.
I
What
think-
was your position when you played?
I pitched a
Okay.
lot, and usually outfield.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I don't want to get too far. I mean, we'll get in the weeds.
Go
if we
down the
if
rabbit
we go
hole
down
on that one.
Yeah, but no, it's been interesting to watch because I know, like you said, you want to be in the moment when you're in the moment, but then when you go home, you want to be dad, husband, and then occasionally maybe a still football coach.
Yeah.
A little bit. I've been watching Friday Night Lights a lot, and I was like,
The show?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the show.
I
Yeah, the
love
show. The show's the best.
Love it. Yeah, I love it, man.
And just the inspiration that you take from the family, like, because how this is something that I think always gets lost, even though I think people try to talk about it as much. How much is it that for what Hannah does to allow you to do what you do? Because it has to be a lot of understanding, a lot of eating Nilos on her own,
Yeah.
things like that.
Well, and I think what helps is that, number one, her parents were teachers. Her dad was a football coach. You know, my dad, or both my parents were teachers. My dad was a football coach. And she also coaches in the spring, so we understand each other, you know, and neither one of us really bring our work home at all. Like, it's not, you know, very, very rarely are we having a conversation about tennis or about football, you know, at home. You know, we like watching our shows. We like watching our movies and stuff like that. So that understanding where we both go through the same stuff, and her as a head coach too. I mean, she's got the same problems, and she deals with them when she's at work, and she doesn't want to deal with them when we come home. So, you know, we're there for each other, you know, and I think, you know, time-wise, my job may be a little more, you know, lengthy in regards to how long the season lasts and stuff. But she's a rock star, you know.
Man.
She's amazing.
Yeah, and she's still trash talking probably a little bit. She's
absolutely.
Got, that win-loss record's pretty impressive.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah, but hey, listen, you know, well, I'm gonna take you back. All right, I got coaches back on this one. You know, that winning season in his first year, that doesn't happen a lot in Warren County, but it did last year, 6-5, including a gigantic victory in the Nurseryman's Bowl that, you know, hopefully we build off there. I can hear people in the lobby, which means we brought our special guest in.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to take a quick break here again. Simmons Says Show, presenting sponsor Mud Bums Family Sports Grill, 507-2867. If you want to go over there, get you some wings tonight, go have a good time, watch our show. We got a special guest coming in, and he's not just going to be a special guest for tonight. It's going to be a special guest throughout football season who's going to be helping break us down the X's and O's, maybe with Coach Blue as well. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have another person in studio.
So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I can't help it, baby. I just can't stand still. I was born to wander, and I probably always will. Better love me now. You know I won't be here long. Out yonder is calling, and I gotta be moving on. Guess I was born with a restless soul. Honey, I'd like to stay with you, but you know I gotta go. I'll see you next time I come back around. 'Cause baby, you know I'm a wandering man. Don't know where I'm headed, but I ain't lost my way. Ain't worried about tomorrow, busy living for today. Don't worry about me, baby. Don't let it get you down. If the world keeps turning, honey, I'll be right back around. Guess I was born with a restless soul. Honey, I'd like to stay with you, but you know I gotta go. I'll see you next time I come back around. 'Cause baby, you know I'm a wandering man. Guess I was born with a restless soul. Honey, I'd like to stay with you, but you know I gotta go. I'll see you next time I come back around. 'Cause baby, you know I'm a wanderer.
No. He shrank.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the
Got
Studio
shorter.
605. What happened, man?
I got shorter.
Oh, Coach Eric Ballou. I am Jeff Simmons. And now we have joined with us Michael Thrower.
Yes, sir. Thank
Well,
you for having me.
Man, welcome to the show, and then welcome to Studio 605, and I guess just welcome to the company.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are going to be ahead and announcing that Michael Thrower will be a part of our football coverage. Pioneer quarterback, pioneer receiver, pioneer defensive back, pioneer punt returner, kick returner. Did I miss anything? Did you drive the bus?
No, sir. I did not.
Didn't drive the bus,
You-
snapped
you
it a
covered
couple
it.
times, maybe.
I did.
Did you ever kick?
No, sir.
No punting?
Adam Fan had that covered.
Oh, Adam Fan did have
Yeah,
that covered.
another
But,
shout out.
Thrower, a Pioneer legend, is going to be helping us with some X's and O's. And again, too, Michael Thrower, not only just a good football player in Warren County, played a little bit of basketball, and then went and played at Lindsey Wilson and played a pretty good vital role there. And we were just talking about it. We were debating, do you have a ring, if I'm not mistaken, from coaching?
I do. I have a national championship ring and I have 4 conference championship rings.
Where the national championship happened, I was trying to remember.
Grambling, Louisiana.
Okay, that's
Grambling,
right.
Grambling
Oh,
University.
So I went the other way around. I was saying somewhere in Illinois or Indiana. Yeah,
down
so-
south. They used to have it in Daytona, but they switched it over to Grambling, Louisiana.
Yeah. So been in the coaching. So this is the kind of guy that I even told Ballou. I said, look, listen, guys, I don't need to be doing X's and O's. We tried this last year, had a great time with it. But we're gonna bring in a true X's and O's, a real ball knower, Michael Thrower out there, man. So I mean, what's it like getting back into town?
Man, I've really enjoyed it. You know, me and my wife talked about, going back to where we can raise our son at, and no better place than Warren County, a place that built me. So I'm glad to be back in my community where my son can now be here.
Yeah. Well, y'all have had some. I feel like y'all have probably had a few discussions throughout the time since you've been back and Blue's been into town. But what this is, I think this is the first time we've ever put y'all in the same room together.
This is the first time meeting personally.
Oh, man.
We've traded messages, some about football, some about trading cards, sports cards.
Yeah, oh,
so
yeah.
so it's the first time that we got to meet in person. So this is nice.
Oh, yeah. So good. Y'all have a lot in common here.
Yeah.
So that's nice. But Thrower, we're going to turn you into kind of like a guest host in some aspects. Any good questions you got for Coach? Put them on the spot right now.
Yeah. First question I would have for you is going into year 2. What is different now versus year 1 to year 2? Post dead period going into fall camp. What's the different feeling that you have going into fall camp of year 2?
Yeah, I had kind of touched on it a little bit before, about the players being comfortable, the familiarity of the scheme. We will look a little structurally different, but the bare bones of everything's the same. So when it comes to, install, there's so much more like, oh yeah, I remember that from last year, and then when you do that, you can kind of stack your days a little bit quicker. You can kind of expand a little bit more. So
Spend less time saying, hey, you have a comeback here,
Right.
or, critiquing the finer details of how to, get in their blind spot, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah, absolutely. And I think, and you can see this on film, up front from tackle to tackle, we are fairly simple. And I think the confidence with our linemen, this year is we have so much coming back, especially on offense. We got 4 returning starters. That they are so much more confident physically with their bodies just because they know exactly what they're doing. And then on the back end, we're pretty complicated with formations and shifts and stuff like that. But when you get a chance to get the ball, they'll learn whatever you tell them. So they just how creative we can be with that. Having a AJ, him being a mobile quarterback, we can get really creative, with formations. So, and then Brant, Damon as well. So that part's been really fun with the confidence that they have in what they've known, but then also their willingness to learn the new. That's been really fun to be a part of.
Because someone's roasting me in the comments. So we've got WCSA bringing legends together: Ballou, Thrower, and Simmons. Two out of 3 ain't bad. This is the meatloaf, man.
We could all argue amongst ourselves who the 2 are.
I think I know who the 2 are. the quarterback and the coach that already has a winning season, and then the guy that just writes about it. Well, let me ask you, because y'all are both offensive-minded guys. As we move into the pace and space, we talked about this a little bit last year. How hard is it to be simple but complex at the same time? Because I feel like everybody wants to have the choice. The Heupel choice routes and stuff like that to make it very easy. But at the same time, you can't. If you're that easy, everybody could do it.
Yeah.
So what is it like that? I mean, you tell me, and then Thrower. I'm sure that y'all kind of did some of that in college as well.
Yeah, and I think maybe the difference between most high school programs and colleges is that you have a lot of players that are going both ways. So, we spend half of the practice with offense, and then they have to transition over, But, AJ, he spends the whole day for the most part on offense. So time is going to be a huge contributor to how complex you can be, and how much time that you have within practice. But I think what I've learned from people much smarter than me is trying to minimize verbiage to where, what we try to do with our formations is that this group, if it's the fullbacks or the receivers, when we say this word, that's where they always go, as opposed to, well, no, if we want them over here, but in this different look, we're going to. No, we don't need to do that. We need to use it the least amount of words as possible, and then every word has to mean something. And I think we try not to call things like, power right or power left. Like we want to use verbiage where we are tagging, what the linemen and players are doing. And that comes from Herschel Moore's playbook. That was the head coach in Metro City, Nashville, and was at Cumberland. So I think, being selective on how you use your verbiage is extremely important, and then trying to minimize that as much as possible.
You've probably been in the locker room and seen that a lot.
Yeah,
So.
I think you nailed it. I think, obviously you can be as complex as you want, but simplifying it for the guys to understand and be able to think and play fast.
Yeah.
Is the key. So, we spend most of our time as coaches, we had this complex idea that we liked, but we spend more time of how can we simplify it? How can we make it into a signal? How does it fit within our offense?
Yep.
So you can do, just about much as you want, but does it work? Does it fit our system? How can we make it simple for our kids to play fast and not think as much?
Yeah. And that's a great point, too. I always ask, if somebody brings something up, well, can we call it this? Do you have a signal for it?
Yeah.
We signal. So if you can't have a signal, then the word's pretty much useless.
That was like an ongoing joke for us. We spent more time sitting there trying to think of a signal. How can we convey that in? Because we were signal, at the college level, it's like, what signal fits?
Yeah.
Oh, where I use that one.
Yeah.
It looks similar to this. If they see it from across the field, it looks too much like the other play. It could be confused. There's a lot more that goes into just a simple play than what meets the eye, I guess you could say.
So y'all are like third base coaches at home trying to work different ways.
Man.
Yeah, that would be tough. Do you ever think y'all employ like the 3 sign thing that they're doing in college, where all of a sudden there's like pictures of people?
Yeah.
Like, if you do that, I want one of them to be me, a big fat head of Jeff Simmons over there. And I don't want to know what it means at all.
Right.
What play would that be?
Yeah.
Some jumbo, some kind of jumbo package. I guarantee you, we're 3 tots if Jeff Simmons is up there.
I've never used cards. I don't know if you have before. I really don't understand how those work.
We use them just as dummies.
Yeah.
We just held them up just to get people to look at them.
Yeah.
People are over there like trying to take pictures of them, and you're signaling in the play from on the other side of the sideline. So that's not bad.
I mean, it's crazy, with the sign stealing stuff that happened. I mean, if you look at these power and even really any FBS school, there's like 7 guys in 7 different colors, doing signals. And I know some of them, it's like red's live, this set, the yellow shirt's live, this drive. I mean, it's complicated at the high school. I cannot imagine at the college level.
Did you have to deal with that?
Oh, yeah. Because
were you the sign stealer?
I can't say as much as that, but there is some of that goes on. Because I mean, you can watch film, and then there's some, as you know, there's some film angles where you may be able to catch a signal or two, and then you match it up. Okay, this signal's power, and you go back, you watch power again, you catch it. Okay, that signal matches. Next time you see that signal, power's coming.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is some of it, and that's why some coaches are smarter and they're able to cut the film where you don't see signals, and some are more aware of that than others. But
or you do the Mike Leach, and you throw out the playbook on like a Friday
dummy
playbook, and think that everybody, and then you run the exact opposite on that. You can do that as well.
Yeah.
But definitely, people are scoping out signals for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that I wanted to tie y'all into, because we know where we're starting this year. We've talked about preseason, but we know that first game will be up in Smithville. And Coach, you got your first taste of the DeKalb County Warren County rivalry. Thrower, you're a big part of the Warren County DeKalb County rivalry. In fact, I think you might have been in school right as it was getting kicked off. They might have played maybe 2 or 3 times, but you might play until last year, which ended up becoming the Lightning game and coming back and kicking off. One of the more, for us, we're not going to call that the definitive game of the rivalry because we didn't win.
Right.
But you might have been in before that, the definitive game. What can you tell us about the shootout, the 49-42?
Junior year, we had a shootout, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So that ended out 49-42. We were tied up 42-42 with about 2 minutes left. I was cramping up the whole second half. Ended up catching that 82-yard bomb from Bradley Stegg for a touchdown to go ahead, and we won that game. But it was a shootout. Hunter Poteet, the quarterback for DeKalb County, me and him went head-to-head football and basketball, so we had a great relationship, but he could sling it.
Yeah.
He could sling it. Him and Abram Edwards had a connection.
Oh, yeah. I forgot Abram Edwards was a big time
So
on that one, too.
the year before, sophomore year, they ran us off the table.
Yeah.
So that next year we came back and we got them that one.
Yeah. So how fast were you running that 80 yards with a cramp at that point? You like 5'4"?
Luckily,
5'8"?
luckily there's only one guy. We did the old post wheel. I ran a wheel, so there's really only one guy. I kind of had to shimmy off of me, and he kind of fell, so I could just coast right in, so it wasn't too hard.
Yeah.
But I was feeling it as soon as I got in the end zone. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's it like being because that was at Nunley too, right?
Oh, yeah.
What is it like going in there and scoring that game win? Because, y'all had some times last year that y'all put it away, and it's got to be a great feeling to score that. At that point, you're like, we're winning this game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm putting this one in the end zone. What's that feeling like?
I mean, not only that, but just Nunley Stadium in general.
Yeah.
I think people in Warren County take Nunley Stadium for granted. It's one of the best stadiums in Tennessee. I've been to a whole bunch and recruited at a whole bunch, but I think Nunley Stadium gets Friday nights, and that's one of my favorite memories is running out of that tunnel and seeing everybody, on the home side all the way to the hill, the pioneer bushes. I mean, Nunley Stadium, I think people do take that for granted.
Yeah. Well, Blue Man, you were the first one to ever light the scoreboard up. They did the lights up. I think y'all had the y'all had the very first one. I think Harris scored and got that run in. I mean, what was it like? What do you remember from that first one? Because the fourth down, the rain delay, everything from that first night. That there's about 18 different things you probably want back. Yeah. But what was it like coming out there and that very first time? You're like, I'm under the lights. This is it. This is Warren County.
Yeah, just when you look up and you see that you have support. I mean, the stadium and structure, it's extremely unique. Where you're dug into, a hole. I mean, obviously that's something that just doesn't really, exist anymore. And when you turn around and see that support, when you make a big play and you feel that, participation behind you, it's really special, and it matters. People can say whatever they want, we're not worried about the crowd. It matters, and I think more so just at home, where I think it just gives your team a huge advantage when they know that people are invested. Yeah. And like, I mean, I'm not going, but when you go to other places, and places that we played at last year, where those communities don't have that support. And really, as a coach, you don't think about it as a player, but as a coach, you really feel for those kids. Yeah. Where they don't have tremendous, support in the stands, and that you feel like those kids are getting robbed from that experience, and our kids aren't. They get the full high school football experience because the community's involved. And that it's disappearing. I think in a lot of places. That's what I think's special about here because, I saw a graphic today. I think it was in Alabama. And it was logos of each school in the state, in the counties. And what I went through is I counted how many one county or one school in a counties there were in Alabama. And there was like 3.
Yeah.
And that just, like I said, it just doesn't exist. And it's really, really special.
Yeah, we got Warren County here. And really, honestly, in the area, it's one of the few ones. And, of course, Grundy County and DeKalb County also fit into that. Well, I don't even know what DeKalb County does. I don't know where Watertown would fit in on that. I don't know if they're in the DeKalb County lines or not. But, yeah, it's incredible. And then, of course, obviously, homecoming last year was an incredible experience. And then you got to bring back the Nurseryman's Bowl. So, y'all had that first year, even though it ended up being a 4-6 year, which you don't really ever see, is only 4 home games throughout the regular season, still ended up becoming a thing where Nunley Stadium does matter, and it makes a huge difference. And until we get a data center to build a new football field,
Here we go.
I threw that one out this morning. I said, I'm telling you, man, the data centers missed out. They should have just said, we'll build a football stadium, and then you might have had a chance. Otherwise, I don't know, man.
Or coffee shops. That's we could go down. down the rabbit hole with coffee shops.
Going to the comment section, Vance Ballou chimed in, said, "Go Pioneers."
Yeah.
And also, too, earlier, John Templeton said, "You're my boy, Ballou," in there. And, of course, Laura Smart asked if any secrets were being revealed tonight. Well, Thrower, I mean, I guess that would be one of the secrets is you're with us, and it's going to be a good time. I mean, when was the last time you were at, like a Warren County football game in an official capacity?
Official?
Yeah. 2010?
I helped coach in 2015.
Okay.
So the 1 year I came back after I graduated college and before I went into the college career, I helped Tom Moore.
Yeah.
So that would have been the last one. I came last year to homecoming. That was the only game I was able to attend. So other than that, that's the only 2 games I've kind of been around, Pioneer football. So
Wow. So now we're going to put you out there. We're going to let you break down some pregame, maybe some postgame, some X's and O's, all that. What are you looking forward to the most? I mean, from seeing Blues offense a little bit in action last year.
Man, I'm excited just to sit down and talk ball. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been 2 years. Yeah. So it's been 2 years removed from coaching, so getting a little bit of the itch just to be around ball. So this is a way for me to, get back around football and get back around Pioneer football that's given a lot to me. So I'm excited just to talk about the game, get with you, talk X's and O's, see what y'all are doing, see where you are attacking, what you see. Just talking that type of lingo gets me fired up.
Yeah.
fun.
We're going to give him a huddle account.
Yeah, deal.
Someone's asked me, goes, "You think Thrower could get a huddle?" I was like, "Yeah, I think I'd be all right. I think Ballou will log him in
I know a guy.
on that." Yeah. What's it What's it like in the coaching advancements like that with huddle and stuff like that for y'all? I mean, is it tough to still get people to share stuff with you? And B, how dynamic is it to be able to go and send that film off and get back just these very, very detailed reports on it?
Yeah. Well, I grew up, with my dad meeting the coach halfway, exchanging film on Saturday morning. So
Still reel to reel.
yeah, well, it's funny. He retired at Columbia in 2011 from coaching, and they added huddle in 2012.
Oh, wow.
So he never got to experience, the effortless share, So, I'm very grateful that we get that. But there's so much technology that goes into a Friday night, and I am not technology inclined.
Yeah.
So it frustrates me more than it probably makes me happy. But we've got guys on our staff that are really good with technology.
Yeah.
So
They're flying the drones. They're doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
now, man.
it's crazy, So and you can't beat, in Tennessee you can use a drone on Friday nights. Georgia you can't.
That drone huddle film is,
Oh, my gosh.
You don't need the wide and the tight. You can just use that.
I mean, it feels like cheating. Like going from 5 years in Georgia where you can only use, tight wide from the sideline and the end zone cut, and then now getting a hovering view of what's going on live during the game with, your huddle sideline. I mean, it's crazy. It's wild how much football has changed in the last 10 years.
I mean, what is it like seeing the all 22 when you get that overhead view? I mean, what as a coach, and what kind of advantage is that if you get to see an all 22 of maybe 2 or 3 games of an opponent before you kick off against them?
Oh yeah, it's a huge advantage. Especially rather than maybe breaking down a wide or a tight, you can get everything you want in one solo shot.
Yeah.
So breaks down times, alleviating going back from wide to tight, trying to match things up. That I think the drone view eliminates, kind of that.
Yeah.
Well, how much does that help on? And I don't even know. I know you and I have talked about this a little bit. And Thrower, you might have your own thoughts about that. Is that the kind of stuff that helps you start scripting? If you wanted to script, that you're saying, hey, I see this or I can see that tendency. I'm going to run this play 1 or play 2, to see if play 10 is going to set up. Or are those things that y'all are doing?
Well,
that y'all did?
Yeah, I think the biggest advantage from the drone shot is the perception of like what you can actually see. When it's from the tight, like you're sitting there arguing, is that guy in a 3 or is he in a 4? But it's because you're shooting and people are covered up because you're shooting from the side. But when you get the vertical cut from up top, you can see exactly where everybody's lined up. So that can really help with, scheming things up and getting a script. Like, okay, when we're in this look, this is exactly what we're getting because we can actually see. First couple of years, like I said in Georgia, we didn't have that.
Yeah.
And when I'm up in the box as an assistant coach, he's like, well, what is he in? And I'm like, can't tell, you know, like it's too hard because people are covered up. So, yeah.
He's in blue and white. I can see him from here.
Yeah. He's whipping our guy. That's what's happening. But yeah, I mean,
he's in the backfield.
Right, yeah. Getting beat like he stole something, or whatever he said. She said, "Remember the Titans." But no, I mean, it's a huge advantage, and it does. I think it helps tremendously with scripting out because you get a real look.
Is it more advantage for offense or defense? Do you think, Thurl?
As far as the drone,
Yeah, or just just filming that 22 in general. Do you think like that factors in better for offense or defense? I mean, you're an offensive guy, so
I always want to lean towards the offense. They don't know what's coming, but I mean it's equal for both sides. But I think with what you're saying as far as scripting is, yes, you want to pick plays that you think is going to be successful, but it's also early on when we line up this way, we think they're going to line up, and that's just also another way of confirming that.
Yep.
Like, hey, we line up trips, we think they're going to line up this way. All right, we're going to throw trips out early, make sure that they are. That way, we have some other stuff in our back pocket we want to present.
Yeah.
Are y'all more mismatch creators on offense, or are you saying, hey, this is what we're good at, we're just gonna find a way to get that in different formations?
Well, I think that goes back to your complexity question. As how complex do you want to be? And there's like this buffer of complexity to the point to where it's helping you, and then if it gets too wide, it's going to hurt you. So, I think creating mismatches and running what is going to be effective on a Friday night that's within that zone of your complexity, I think is where we try to live. We're going to get in really unusual formations, and even more so this year with AJ, being a runner. So I think that's kind of where we look, is how unusual and how much conflict can we put the defense in with leverage and alignment. We'll put a tight end and two receivers over here, and we'll put two fullbacks over here as wings on the other side, and then we'll have the spread hyple stuff, or we'll throw a quick screen over here, or we can run sweep the other way, and that's just us running sweep. But to the defense, that's a drastically different look than what they've been seeing. So if we can live in that world of, it's not outside our zone of complexity, but it can put some stress, on the defense based on what they're doing and how they call strengths, that can be really beneficial.
Just to add on what he said, I mean, even us at the college level, we wanted to be great at something before we were too complex. But we want to be great at inside zone. We want to be great at power. But to the defense, how can we make this look different every single time? So how can we make it more complex as far as how it looks? But to our guys, we're just running power. So trying to mix it up to where it looks a whole lot different, but to your guys, they're still comfortable. They're still doing the same thing. It looks complex, but it's still what they're great at the end of the day.
Yeah. Y'all are Denzel, man. Y'all are still just running 7 plays. You're just running 20 formations.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that. Yeah. Is that something that was something you gathered from playing? Did you do that more when you got into coaching, or is that really in some ways what football is anymore, and everybody's doing it? It's kind of everybody doing it in different ways.
I think maybe I learned as a play caller by trial. I wanted the thickest playbook when I first came in. I wanted to be the guy that knew everything. I wanted to be the smartest, coach in the room. And then I feel like I kind of made a fool of myself the first couple of years of coaching, and it's like that's not what breeds success, kind of like you were saying. It's having an identity. All right, this is what we're going to be good at, and then building from that, and like I said, I wish I would have listened earlier in my career, but I don't really know any other way where it works. I think there's, maybe there's some guys that can pull off running 12 different run blocking schemes, and but I haven't seen any success in that. People say, or the Bruce Lee quote, "I don't fear the man that knows kicks but practices one kick 1,000 times." Like that's where I've seen success.
I think all the premier college teams are like that.
Yeah.
They're really good at maybe 3 or 4, good run schemes, but they make it look so much different.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're gonna learn plenty more. We're going to hear, and one thing that we will have to do is we might have to reconvene next week because we will have a little bit of film. after tomorrow, you're gonna go to Trousdale. Gonna have a 7-on-7. What time y'all kicking off tomorrow morning?
About 10:15.
10:15. Well, I'll be on the show at 10:30. So best of luck out there. And then we get Thrower some huddle access. Maybe bring y'all back in and see. Thrower, what do you think about 7-on-7s, man? What was your thought process in high school when you heard you're going 7v7?
I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but
Was it more fun when you were quarterback or more fun when you were playing receiver as a senior?
quarterback.
I figured.
Quarterback, the 7-on-7, that's his time to shine.
Yeah, no pass rush. Yeah, just
Yeah, you can sit that back there and pat the ball.
Yep.
Life is a little different once those big boys get in front of you, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
I'll
doubt.
never forget that. You're going into your senior year. Of course, you've moved to quarterback or moved off of quarterback, and everybody and the passing game looked great. Everybody's talking about 7-on-7 in the summer, and they're oh man, this is looking awesome. Got Northcutt in the backfield, Throwers out there. I think Big Bird, Tyler Glenn out there. Everybody's talking about it. I was like, well, and then I think right into August. First time they put 11-on-11 out there, the pass rush got there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, boys. So, I mean, is there anything you glean off of 7-on-7 other than just trying to see landmark? I mean, I know you're a big landmarks guy. Is that kind of what you're trying to get tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. And then just seeing them compete, I think that's ultimately what we're trying to accomplish. Hopefully get some. I love 7-on-7 the most from the defensive perspective. Getting lined up in formations. I think seeing if we know where our eyes are supposed to be, pre-snap. I think we've got some young guys on the back end. Wesley Romzik, I think, is a name to look out for this year. He's taken on a big role on the back end and just learning about, okay, where are those guys' eyes right now? And then it can answer a lot of questions, And then on the offensive side, it's more so about timing, right? Our timing should be great because there's no rush, make the read, make the throw. So I'm excited about it just to see him get out and compete against somebody else that's not us.
Yeah. Go Pioneers, man. Thrower, any last, I mean, like we said, getting you back in here. I mean, is the chili getting hot a little bit over there? Yeah, I know you had Tommy Johnson your senior.
Yeah, chili is getting hot now, but just getting right here is getting me a little goosebumps, just talking football again. So, no, it feels good. I'm appreciative.
What do you think you could add to the broadcast this year? I mean, obviously you're going to be our X's and O's guys. I mean, how quickly do you think we're going to get before you're like, I don't know what Blue was doing on that one?
That's one thing of being a coach is not to be a couch coach. Once coach is doing his thing, that's not going to be my thing to overstep or nothing like that.
Well, we were going to name your show Armchair Quarterback. No, I'm kidding.
Better get a nice leather chair in here, then.
Oh, yeah.
I know how much time and effort goes into just one Friday game. So, coaching is a lot harder than what people may think.
Do you, when you were in the game, or just to kind of get back into, you said you went to homecoming last year. Mm-hmm. Do you have the rabbit ears a little bit when you're up in the stands, or are you just trying to completely black it out? Because I've been on the sidelines down there. You hear people. It's like, I love this one the most with the coaches. When you were talking about, we had this conversation last year when we talked about coaches will say, you don't hear it. You're like, yes, you do. You do hear it. You could be up 50 and you still hear somebody complaining. Was that like that? What was it like being in the stands? You're going,
it was
you
100%.
don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, that's probably my biggest pet peeve going to a football game is just listen to people around me trying to, you should have done this. But I can't.
Why won't they give Cody Robinson the ball?
Yeah.
It's like you want us to you want to pull our right guard at the goal line and run it in. Okay, sure, whatever.
My favorite is those are the same plays as last year. That's my favorite thing to hear.
Should change the entire offense every summer because that's what kids really want to do is learn a completely different offense every single year. That's the best part.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, I appreciate it. Again, too, best of luck, Trousdale tomorrow.
Thank you.
Be looking for more coverage on that on the Warren County Way tomorrow afternoon. Be looking for more for these two guys. I mean, I'll be around, but for the most part, I just want to roll the ball out there and let y'all talk about it because I know, offensive guys that know a lot about the game. And we're just going to let everybody listen to y'all.
Let's do it.
I know y'all got plenty of stuff to say. And I know that y'all have even more when the film rolls out. Warren County football practice official kickoff. Last week of March or last week of July?
Yeah, acclimation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then July 30th be home against Spring Hill on Thursday.
It's gonna be here sooner than you think.
Yep.
And again, too, we will be doing the Warren County Sports Authority and UCR team up on Friday night, so we'll be at all the games. Already talked to the DeKalb County. Already got some places that we're gonna pick out and hopefully be there and Thrower be with us to break down everything. on the games. Guys, appreciate y'all.
Appreciate
you.
you, man.
All right, thanks to Mud Bums, presenting sponsor of the Simmons Says Show, 507-2867. That is 507-BUMS. Go over there and get you some wings tonight, and always be ready for that 2-for-1 Tuesdays that's coming up. We'll be back on the Simmons Says Show tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m. Might talk a little ball with James Bennett as well, and then be looking forward to the Sports Authority on Wednesday night, where we'll be bringing in Gary Rankin to the studio. All right, appreciate y'all. We'll be back.